It's time for the Glendale Devotional Podcast, a 5-minute weekday devotional ministry from Glendale Baptist Church in Glen, Mississippi. The speaker is John Haynes. Now, here is Brother John.
Well, good afternoon, and let me begin this week of broadcasts by saying how thrilled we are at Glendale that you're listening today. It really does mean a lot. We'll be finishing our look at the prodigal son this week. So far, we've talked about the son, sometimes referred to as the lost son. He left his father's house, sowed his wild oats, lived a life of self-indulgence without any thought of God. Thankfully, he came to his senses, repented, and returned to his loving father. We also notice the citizen of which the son had joined himself to in the far country. This citizen gave him a job. We're not told if the son had become a slave. The fact that he was able to leave makes us think that perhaps this citizen simply helped a person when they were down. May we do the same. Last week, we looked at the father and how he was watching for his son to return. He wrapped his arms around his son, kissed his neck, and was ecstatic that his son had come home. But let's focus on the fourth person of this account, the elder brother. Now picture this. While the older brother was out in the field, the young rebel had come home. His father had ordered that the best robe be put on him. A ring showing sonship was placed on the son. The fatted calf had been slaughtered. Musicians were brought in, and a great celebration began. Now, let me read Luke chapter 15, verses 25 through 28. Now his older son was in the field. As he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing. So he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, "Your brother has come, and because he has received him safe and sound, your father has killed the fatted calf." But he was angry and would not go in. Therefore his father came out and pleaded with him. There was joy on this property. The father was joyful. The returning son was joyful. The servants were joyful. But there was one person who was not joyful. This older brother became angry. We don't know how long the younger son had been gone on his wayward journey, but apparently it was enough time for the older son to think, okay, now he's out of the picture now. It sounds to me like this was a very fair household. Even though the family had hired servants who ate well and had a place to sleep, the elder son still had to go out into the field. I can just see it. As the elder son topped the hill, he might have seen more activity on the farm than what he was used to. As he walked closer, he heard the music. He heard people dancing. He heard laughter. The first thing he wanted to know was why. Why all this celebration? You might think that this older brother would have been relieved that his brother had come home safely, but no way. He was angry. So much so that he wouldn't even go in. It infuriated him that his daddy, the servants, and everyone there was now celebrating this young son's rebellion. But that's just it. They weren't celebrating the poor mistakes that the young son had made. They celebrated because he had come home. The older brother just couldn't join the party. This young son, he thought, should be shamed, not celebrated, punished, not partied. Maybe this older son thought that this younger brother should have had a perpetual reminder of just how he had failed. Maybe you've had someone like that in your life before, always to remind you what you used to be. But this elder son, his world blew up in anger. Okay, so it's Monday, and maybe the devil was waiting on you at work this morning. Perhaps you're still seething with anger from what a sibling or family member said, what they did, or even what they became. I'm just a radio preacher here, but with great compassion, I want you to know that you can talk to God about that. Don't live in anger. Let it go. Let's pick up there tomorrow. God bless you today. I hope that you have a good and godly day.